All right, we are live. We are live. Hey, everybody, it's your old boy, the Dreamer. Welcome to the new face of Hanging with the Dreamer. Well, I have the pleasure of speaking with my guest, very kind gentleman, awesome bassist, awesome visionary, awesome creative visionary, Mr. Blu Davis. Very quick.
Salutations.
Ha ha! Yeah.
Salutations, man.
And I just want to give a quick shout out, real quick, to the Lead Don't Follow Foundation, to Carol Rock Goddess Niven, to Jay Lamb's Remy in the High Voltage Video Magazine, to the Essential Guitarist Group on Facebook, which I'm an admin, to all the people that have believed in the Dreamer and believed in my vision. 2022 is going to be epic. I have some names written down. I just need to coordinate my list and coordinate the interviews. And I'm pretty much filled up till summer of 2022. Well, that's the tentative schedule. So, keep your eyes open, subscribe to the Dreamer's Life, smash that bell notification over on YouTube, follow all the support links, support your local musicians, support your local music, and a very big shout out to all of the musicians that are daring to dream and to all of the artists. Whether you're a painter, you're a poet, a novelist, a big shout out to anybody who is willing to try and go for something in their life. So, with that being said, haha, Blu, welcome to the show. How are you, my friend?
Thank you, Will. I'm doing great. Salutations to you and your listeners. I'm honored to be here.
Well, thank you very kindly. So tell me, break it down. How did you get started playing bass in all the bands that you play bass for right now?
So let's go like a little bit of history of way back when. So I was 7 years old. When I was 7 years old, my mom brought home a Kiss record for me, Kiss Destroyer. And she just saw the cover and said, you know, she knew I was into like Spider-Man and Hulk and stuff like that. So she said, when she saw the cover, this looks like something you'd like. It wasn't something I asked her to do. She just did it on her own. Well, one listen was all it took. And I knew what I wanted to be. I knew that I was willing to do any research necessary, take the time that was necessary, make any of the connections, even sacrifice what I needed to be able to be successful in the music business. I was just totally determined. From the time I heard Kiss, and then a few years later, Motley Crue came out, and I'd heard Shout at the Devil.
Yeah.
I said, I definitely want to do this. This is definitely going to be my career path. So I started playing when I was 14. I begged my parents every year to go see a concert and to buy me a bass. Because that's when I found out Gene Simmons played bass, that I wanted to be Gene Simmons. I begged them every year, and finally when I was 14, they bought me the most generic bass guitar, and the amp was so generic, it was called Deluxe Bass Amp, was the name of the amp. But I was so happy, and I played that thing as much as I could, drove everyone crazy. I spent the first probably 8 years playing at least 8 hours a day. Played my first show, I think I was 15 or 16 when I played my first show. I got to join my first band by embellishing something to them. They were like, "Would you know how to play?" And I said, "Yeah, I know how to play all kinds of Kiss songs." And so I went and did the audition. Didn't know any Kiss songs at all. I'd faked my way to get to the audition, and then they handed me a piece of paper which told me all the notes, gave me the acronym for the strings. So because the strings are E A D G B E, he said every angel does good before evil. So that was the acronym to remember the name of the strings. And he said, you got 2 weeks to memorize it. The guitar player told me, you got 2 weeks to memorize this. Well, I memorized it in 2 weeks. I was playing mediocre, not horrible, but mediocre. But I was so determined, I just kept practicing every day for like 8 hours a day. And many bands later, I got to be able to do it now where I can do it for a living. It's a meager living, but I do it for a living. Right now, I have 6 bands, and I'm about to have 7. Here after the first of the year, we'll be ready for the 7th one. And I could discuss those with you, but just to be able to get where I am today, it took practice, practice, and practice, and practice. It also took, it took me being willing to listen to other players so I could find out different techniques, and not just with playing an instrument, but being in the business. You know, in this business, you don't get second chances. Very rarely does that happen. So it's important to be respectful to yourself, to the other people around you, to anyone who's willing to give you a break. You got to be respectful to them and their art, because we're all doing this together. It's not really an individual pursuit. There's no I in team. In every band I play with, it's a team effort. And if you don't have a team effort, chances are your band will not succeed. I always say there's a reason why there's a certain amount of bands that you hear on the radio, because this is a hard thing to do. It's hard to get along with 3 or 4 different people. You got to have the same vision, and you got to be able to be willing to give up and put forth the effort that it takes to be successful.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my backstory.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. So let's talk about the bands. Now, first off, I'm going to start with the Motley Crue band.
Okay.
Because of my personal attachment to the crew.
Oh, cool.
And my personal affection for Nikki, and my respect that I have for Nikki Sixx and the things that he's overcome. And I can relate.
So I feel the same way. When it comes to Motley, Nicky's look, first of all, when I saw his look for Shout at the Devil, I said, that is even better than Kiss.
Yeah.
I like that even more. And like I said, it made me more determined to play. But to know, after doing a lot of research on Nicky, to know that like he wasn't a very good bass player, but he was so determined, you know, to be successful. He pursued songwriting. He's a great songwriter. On stage, his stage presence is unsurpassed. Between Kiss's stage presence and Motley Crue's stage presence and a couple other bands, I developed and stole different things I saw along the way that I could use to entertain the crowd. Because that was the thing that really stood out to me, is that I like bands that don't look like everybody else and entertain the crowd. That's what I want. That's what I want to be for the audience. So I always wanted to have a Motley Crue tribute band. My cover band, Kid Six, had discussed doing a tribute. We mentioned a few different names. We talked about Skid Row. We talked about White Zombie, and we came up with Motley Crue. And when we thought of Motley Crue at the time, There was, I think, one other Motley Crue tribute, maybe two, but anyway, we thought of it and got our costumes made. Our drummer made our costumes, which is a huge task to undertake anyway. And he did an awesome job on the costumes. And we were ready to launch it, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So that put everything on the back burner.
Yeah.
So now that COVID's over, as far as the entertainment business being so affected by it,
yeah,
we're able to go out and play now again and stuff. I just always wanted to have a Motley Crue tribute, you know. So that was part of my one-sidedness about it. And when I talked to the other guys, and they said, "Oh yeah, they'd love to do that too." I said, "Okay, well then we're doing a Motley Crue tribute," and it's been pretty successful. We've had people come up to us that have told us, "I wasn't a Motley Crue fan before I saw you guys, and now I am." We had people come up to us and tell us that we were the best Motley Crue tribute that they've seen, and they've seen several. We just got through playing in Eagle Pass, Texas, a few weeks ago in November to a packed house, and that was awesome. Wow. And we played in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well as locally around Houston, and it's been good. Yeah, it's been real good, and I enjoy it so much. I love it. But I'm glad other people love it as well, or it wouldn't be successful, right?
Yeah, you know, I was watching a couple tunes off of a live show that's on YouTube, and just when you guys started out, I mean, that took me back to even before the Shout era. There was parts that took me back to the Too Fast for Love era.
Right.
And with the candelabras on the stage and stuff. And that,
yeah,
I thought that was a real good touch, real authentic. Everybody in the band just sounds great. And
now, remember, our Motley Crue tribute is Motley Crue KRUE. And we couldn't believe that wasn't used, that KRUE wasn't used before. That's just freaking awesome. We were like, okay, we're definitely taking that. And now, I know you said you've seen some of the earlier videos, but now we've got some other props on stage. We have the pentagram drum heads. We have the skulls on stakes. We have a fog machine that's a ground fogger, so the fog stays low. Awesome. So we're trying to create that experience of like, it's kind of like a cross between Too Fast for Love and Shout at the Devil.
It's awesome. You guys are pulling it off. You guys are definitely pulling it off. Now, let's talk about, absolutely. Let's talk about the Poison tribute band.
Okay, so the Poison tribute band has been around a little longer. It was right before doing the Motley Crue tribute. And one of the things was, so a buddy of mine, because we like to think that music is a family, and I have lots of different buddies that will play in other people's bands when they need somebody to fill in. And he came up, Johnny King from Shotgun Sally, which is a great band. He came up to me and he said, "I'm entertaining the idea of doing a Poison tribute. What do you think?" And I said, "Oh, I think that would be great. I think it would be great to pair it with my Motley Crue tribute as well. You know, just to get the most, give the people a bigger show, and for me to get the most out of, like I said, it's a meager living that I make, but if I can play in two bands and get paid twice, you know, why not?
Why not?
So we started the Poison tribute, and within it wasn't hardly any time where people were, you know, Poison IV was in demand. So it really didn't take long at all. Now the members changed out a little bit from where it was originally. The members changed out a little bit, but yeah, it has been really successful. We've played several shows, whether it's opening or headlining, that have just went over great.
Awesome.
And I think that's probably been together now for about 2 or 3 years. Sometimes it just becomes a blur. It becomes a blur because of so many shows and so many bands.
Absolutely. Okay. Well,
But
let's
I do
move
have,
on.
I was going to say, I have several other tributes.
Yeah. So which ones are they?
So I have a Green Day tribute called Green for a Day.
That's it. Okay.
And we have been together, see, that would have been before the Poison tribute. So it's been several, probably 4 years, 4 or 5 years, something like that. And it's going great. It took off like a rocket, you know. There's one other Green Day tribute in Houston that I know of, but we never had any problems getting gigs or, you know, finding bands to pair up with or anything like that. It's been real successful. Can I talk about real quick the members of my other band, of my tributes and my cover bands?
Please, please, please.
So I wanted to go back to since we were talking about Motley Crue. So the lead singer is Rod Six. He plays the Vince Neil character, of course. He goes by Vince Steele. I play the Nikki Six character. I'm Blukey Six. Charles McFadden plays our Mick Mars. So he goes from Charles Mars or Mick McFadden. I've heard him either way. And then we just got a new drummer. His name is Boz Miller. So I think he's probably going to be Boz Lee. But we'll figure it out. But his name is Boz Miller. He's a drummer. We just got him. So, like I said, we've had the Motley thing going for a couple of years now. Yeah, it's about a couple of years now. And then the Poison tribute, the lead singer is Gene Velasquez. He's the Bret Michaels. And our CeCe DeVille, our guitar player, is Arnold Hernandez. He goes by Chi-Chi DeVille. And I am Blue B Doll, or Bobby Blue. I've been called both. I'm the bass player. And then our drummer is Fred Williams. He's Freddie Rocket. And everyone I'm mentioning, they have their own social media. I invite you to like them and follow them as well. They're all great guys. Then we go to the Green Day tribute. I am Blue Dirnt. I'm the bass player, the Mike Dirnt character. Yeah. The Trey Cool his name is, I'll give you his Facebook login. El Kevo Drum Tech is who he is on Facebook. That's but cool. He's Kev Cool on the drums. And then Arnold Hernandez is also in the Green Day tribute, Green for a Day. And he plays, how does he say it? Billy Joe Parnstrong. Instead of Billy Joe Armstrong, he goes Parnstrong, because his nickname is Parn. So Arnold is in two of the other, he's in Poison and in Green for a Day with me. And then let's go back. One before that would be Kid Six. Kid Six, I've been in for 3 years now. It's my cover band. And Rod Six is the lead vocalist. Yeah. It's going to be the same members as the Motley Crue tribute. Rod Six is the lead vocalist. Blu Davis is the bass player. That's me. And Charles McFadden is the guitar player. And then Boz Miller is the drummer. And like I said, I've been with Kid Six now for about 3 years. And that's my main band, because a cover band, you can play out more often than you can with a tribute. That's one of the reasons I have so many tributes. And then my big tribute, 6 years, I think now, 6 or 7, and that's Kiss Alike. And I play the Gene Simmons character. I'm Blue Simmons. I'm the guy that breathes fire. No big deal. Just breathe fire and stuff like that. You know, spit blood and all that crazy stuff. Our Ace Frehley is John Frehley. His name is John Curry. And our Peter Chris is Jared Chris. His name is Jared Frank. And then our Paul Stanley, his name is Scott Larson. And he goes by Scott Stan. So there you have it. And then starting next year, I'll be doing my Manson tribute. I have a Marilyn Manson tribute that's going to be starting next year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm going to be playing I'll be playing the Twiggy character.
Twiggy, yeah.
Yeah. And Kevin Zelot, it will be the Marilyn Manson, and he is dead up Marilyn Manson. Our guitar player is Brian Wandra. He'll be playing the Daisy Berkowitz character on guitar. And then Christopher Dean is our drummer. He will be the Gingerfish character.
Yeah.
Our keyboard player is undetermined at this time, but we will have keys as well. But it's that's in limbo right now.
Now, is this going to cover earlier Marilyn Manson material, like when he was opening for Nine Inch Nails?
Yeah. The Dope Show has kind of patterned their look from the Hollywood record. So we wanted to do a different era. So we're doing like where you have the Ouija board background, and like you said, when they open up for Nine Inch Nails. So ours is kind of a cross between Portrait of American Family and Smells Like Children. That's it.
Downward.
You know? Yeah, kind of around that time. And I've still got, and I have the dresses like Twiggy used to wear and all that. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I've already got a dreadlock wig because I can't use my real hair in the. I get to use my real hair for Kiss Alike and for Poison, but for Motley Crue I have to wear a wig. And I get to use my real hair for Kid Six, but for Manson I'll have to wear a wig too for play Twiggy.
Now, concerning Kid Six, is Kid Six planning on writing any original material?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Kid Six has original material, and you can actually find it on all the major platforms, whether it's Apple Music or Spotify, in any of the major platforms. You can go and listen to our EP. There's songs on there like Out of Love is one of them. So Sick is one of them. You like that? Cool.
Yeah, Out of Love. I like
that. Yeah, we get a lot of requests. But yeah, there's five songs on the EP, and we're writing new material right now as well.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm a busy guy.
Yes, you are. When I first saw the Kid Six logo, I thought to myself, wait a minute, that got my attention. And I mentioned Kid Six, and everybody's eyes light up, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, so then that's when I started, that's when your name came up, and that's when I started pursuing a chance to talk to you, and I just thought that the Kid Six logo and the vibe.
Thank you.
It really is. It's authentic, and grab your attention. It's a captivate. It
Thank you.
captivates.
Speaking of Kid Stick, one of the things I wanted to mention in 2019, the SLM Fort Local Music Awards, we were
Yeah.
voted best cover band.
Mhm.
Well, they didn't have one in 2020.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, in 2021, they did the awards again. And this time, I actually got nominated for Best Bass Player. And I didn't win the award, but it was still great to be nominated. And I heard that when they announced my name as a nominee, that there was a lot of applause during the award ceremony. So I'm thankful for that. It was an honor to be nominated. But Kid Six won again in 2021 for Best Cover Band. So that was great, man. To have a repeat win like that, we're very grateful. And Kid Six already had a following before I joined the band, but now Kid Six has a bigger following. And up until the time of COVID, we were packing. We were packing the bar when we played. And now, even though the entertainment side of COVID has is pretty much recovered, the audience hasn't recovered. You know, unfortunately, the audience hasn't recovered. Some people are still not coming out to live shows, and I really wish they would. They're missing a great show, and COVID, as far as I know, it's been contained now. It's not like it was before whether someone's been vaccinated or they're taking precautions to prevent getting it. I really wish more people would come out to the shows. I really do. But we've got the crowd. They're coming back. They're coming back, but I really wish more people would come.
Had Kid Six ever had a chance to do a triple gig with the State of Mind Dress Up a Resident Surrender Stella?
Not that I'm aware of. I know that there was a time of Surrender Stella. I think there was a time back a few years ago where we were talking about doing the show. I forgot the name of the place. Anyway, we ended up having to bow out. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you this, since we're doing the interview, now Kid Six has played a show with Motley Crue, KRUE, Poison Ivy, and Kids Alike. So in other words, I played a show with 4 bands I played in out of the 5 bands that played. And the only reason I didn't play in the band before Kids Alike is that I have to have like 2 hours to get ready. Mm-hmm. You know? So it just takes a lot of time to get ready for Kids Alike. So I can't like pair up one of my bands with Kids Alike. But that day I could because it was a festival.
Now, what are your hopes? Like, what would you like to see Kid Six and all the rest of the bands you're in achieve in the next year, 2022?
That's a good question. Of course, I'd love Kid Six to once again get best cover band in 2022. But what really, man, I really just hope more people come out to the shows, and for live music to come back where it used to be. Kid Six writing the new original material, that's really exciting right now. I mean, I'm just hoping for successful shows, successful crowds, people to support local music. You know, I want everybody to have a good time, be safe, but have a great time. And, you know, the world, without getting political or making a social comment, the world is a strange place to live in. So go out and have some fun when you can.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I just hope
And
to continue to inspire people. I want to inspire people, you know.
that leads me to my next question. How do you hope that your time on stage to inspire another person, another individual?
I like to take the time to, and I don't do it all the time, but I do like to take the time to do meet and greets, talk to fans, let people know that they matter. The audience, when people ask me, say, how have you been so successful? I say, well, I pay attention to the audience. The audience is your boss. Without the audience, you don't have a job.
Yeah.
So they pick the songs you play. You give them a show. If you told me that you have to stand there like a cardboard cutout, I would lose the job because I can't do that. I have to have, a performance. I have to have a lot of energy. Those people deserve to see a show. They took time out of that they could have went anywhere, especially here the Houston and the surrounding areas. There's so many places to go, so many great bands to see. They could have went and saw anyone. So if they're going to come out and see me play, I don't want them to be disappointed.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
That's the right way to think. And I know, I mean, I think about all the times that I used to, go to big major concerts and back in the day, go see Iron Maiden, go see Scorpions, Judas Priest, Maiden, Saxon, except list goes on and on and on and on. And I never left a major concert thinking, wow, that show really sucked, man.
Right?
But I have left some bar gigs that just thought to myself, what was that? And I mean, I still had a good time regardless, but I just thought to myself, man, I came here to hear watch some live music. So I'm glad. From a music fan's perspective, thank you for wanting to put on a show.
I tell people, all you have to do is care. It doesn't matter if there's 30 people in the audience or 300 or 3,000. You got to make those people, they're the reason you're there. So all you have to do is care about those people. It's that simple.
Yeah.
I'm very serious about the music. When I learn music, I'm very serious about it. I'm very serious about it being played the way it is, the way it was written. I'm serious about reproducing that for the audience, but I'm more serious about having a good time. Once you learn that music, having a good time, and it will make the people have a good time. And they'll forget about their worries for a little while. That's what they deserve. They don't deserve any less than a show.
So if there were any, well said, if there was any brands, any companies that you would like to work with, who would you like to give a shout out to? Who are the brands that you would like to work with?
So I use Dunlop medium picks, the yellow Tortex. I play Ernie Ball, Super Slinky, the purple packaging bass strings. I play BC Rich basses, and typically it'll be a BC Rich Warlock bass. But any BC Rich would be great. And then Gibson Thunderbird. And I play GK, Gailey and Kruger amps. And then I use Mark bass speakers.
Outstanding.
So if I could get an endorsement from any of those or all of those, bring it on. I'm ready.
Awesome. So, lastly, who are the people that you would like to give a shout out to? I know that you spoke briefly about everybody, all the members, and all the bands that you're involved with, which is awesome. Thank you for that. Um, who else would you like to give a shout out to?
One other member I want to mention is our secret weapon, our fifth member in Kiss Alike, and that is
Hmm.
William Cram. He goes by Boog. William Cram is our like Wizard of Oz, behind the curtain guy. We couldn't play a show without him. He does so much, from setup, tear down, to running the show, getting effects ready for us, making sure that the fire's right for me to breathe. And we have other assistants too, because Kiss is a huge production. But
Hmm.
we couldn't do a show without William Cram. He's our secret
Yeah,
weapon. I also want to give a
absolutely.
shout out. I want to give a shout out to Deanna Davis, my lovely wife, because I couldn't do any of this without her. Without her support and love, I couldn't do what I do. I also want to give a shout out to my kids, Taylor and Ezrin. They inspire me more each and every day. They're the reason that I get out of bed. Music is
Awesome.
great, but family is really important.
Yeah.
Um, one of the things I did want to mention real quick, if I could, um, I'd like to give a shout out to my influences. I'd
Sure.
like to give a shout out to Gene Simmons, Nikki Sixx, Duff McKagan, Twiggy Ramirez. I also like to give a shout out to Mike Kerr from Royal Blood. Royal Blood is an awesome band. If you haven't heard them, please check out Royal Blood. It's just a bass player and a drummer, but they make it sound like a full band.
Awesome. Awesome.
And, and I want
Awesome.
to give a shout out to you, Will Durham. Will Durham, you contacted me. I want to give you a shout out. You're part of
Thank
what
you.
makes this all work.
Thank you. Well, I love what I do. I love everybody involved, and I wear my heart on my sleeve. You could
Oh,
say definitely.
I want to give a shout out to Jay Remy as well. You mentioned
Oh,
Jay.
yes.
Jay is a class act. I
Yes,
love
he
that guy.
is.
He is a class act. He made a comment on one of my posts saying legendary, and I don't know if I'm legendary, but I am appreciative. I'm very much appreciative.
He's a good guy. I know that Jay is definitely Dreamland Studios' best friend right now.
And if
And
anyone has any suggestions, I'm all ears. If anyone has any suggestions of songs they'd like to hear or something they'd like to see me do, I'm all ears.
cool. I may have to remember that. That's cool, man. That's cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, lastly, what I ask everybody who comes and hangs out with the dreamer for a little bit, do you have any questions for me?
So how long have you been doing this now?
About a year and a half, or a year and three quarters.
Wow. Well, you do it very naturally. I would have thought you've
Thank
been
you.
doing it for a long time. Not that a year and a half isn't a decent amount of time, but I would have thought you've been doing it for years.
Oh, thank you. No,
You're welcome.
I love what I do. You know, I'm really trying to be like the mighty Godzilla and leave deep footprints after
I
my
love it.
time on this rock is over with. I I want people to look at the dreamer's life, look at Hanging with the Dreamer, look at Dreamland Studios, look at my social media on Facebook, and realize that the dreamer is a guy who, a musician, a visionary content creator, a producer, a talk show host, a graphic designer that really cared about the people that he talks to and the people that he meets, and he really appreciates their time and values their friendship and values their time, and that's how I want to be remembered.
That's awesome.
That's how I don't want to be remembered for any bad stuff from my past. I want to be
So,
remembered for this. I want
so
to
what
be
it,
remembered.
so what instrument do you play?
Oh, that'd be guitar.
Oh, okay.
I have a
Cool.
website. I have a website that I'll send you in your Facebook Messenger.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
those are
I
the
gave you a
guitar.
I gave you a shout out on Facebook. I posted a link to the YouTube channel.
The I will send you a link. Um, I will send you a link on your Facebook Messenger,
Okay.
and to show you the instruments that I use.
Okay.
Well, Blu Davis, this has been an awesome conversation, and I hope that I will be able to have you back again, and
Oh, it would be great.
preferably with some other members, Kid Six or Motley Tribute.
Okay.
I would love to have everybody on.
Okay. I'm sure we can
Okay,
raise something.
cool.
It
Thank
was
you
an
very
honor and a
much.
privilege.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Likewise,
you.
I'm sure. And
Thank you,
thank you
Will.
very. And everybody, if you like what I'm doing, please consider hitting my PayPal link. That will help me keep the show production going, and that will help me continue to have these epic conversations with epic artists. Thank you very much, everybody. Smash that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Check out Creation Station on Facebook. Check out Stress Level Red. Check out all the bands that Blu's in, Kid Six. Check out Surrender Stella. Check out the High Voltage Video Magazine. And tell J-Lance Remy the Dreamers sent you. And thank you very much, everybody. And thank you very much, Blu, for being
Thanks,
here
Will.
today.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.